Tonight on Ghost Hunters International, the team lands in Italy to investigate a cursed monastery. Will they find a colorful local legend?
I don't like this.
Or disturb an evil that's 1,000 years old?
Oh my God, I felt something touch my shoulder.
Then the team heads to Wales to explore a legendary resting place of the Holy Grail.
It was brought up here by 7 monks who were the guardians of the Grail. And one by one, those monks died and they were buried in the basement.
But when the group finds skeletal remains at Nanteos Mansion,
dude, there's tons of bones down here.
Will they awaken a medieval spirit?
What the hell's that? Something moved over there.
We're surrounded.
Barry, there's something down here with me. Something moving. It's coming toward me. Oh, my God.
By Jason and Grant to lead this team. It was pretty exciting. You know, I haven't worked with any of these people before. So for them to welcome me and give me a lot of responsibility and allow me to step into their group as a leader, you know, what more could you ask for?
Can you guys believe we just left Scotland and now we're in Italy? I've never been here. I can't believe I'm in Italy.
Does anybody know Italian, by the way? No.
No. Tell us about our next investigation, Donna.
We are going to Lucetio's Princedom and its abbey, which is a fortified monastery built in 1123. This place, let me just tell you right now, supposedly there's a demonic there.
Donna's exactly right. Around 1650, 10 girls who were being assaulted, allegedly by the devil, converted the monks to practice satanic ritual. And it wasn't until 1748 that the Pope excommunicated the abbey and shut it down.
Also, there's a legend about the Maria's Crypt, which is underneath the church where the abbots are buried. And people say that there was an evil presence that was actually captured and that the abbots caged it under the church.
So the idea is that this energy or whatever it is still there today?
Yeah.
That's right.
I think we're almost here. Wow.
That's awesome. It's like a movie set.
Absolutely beautiful.
Welcome to Lucedio. I am Paolo Salvatore di Wiesenhoff. My family has been the owner of Lucedio since 1000 years. We are the descendant of the landlord of this area who gave the land to the monks in 1123.
What can you tell us about Lucedio?
The name of Lucedio is linked with the name of God and the name of evil. I believe that something that can be called ghost or spirit still is here.
Where are we headed?
This is the judgment room, the most important room of the abbey. But the legend said that in front of this column, the people who has done something bad, they had to stand there, and the people were declared guilty or not, they can be executed also.
Where would they be executed?
Near the cemetery that is around the church, the main church.
What kind of paranormal reports do you get in here?
So the legend is about the column because so many bad things has been done in name of God that the column is still crying.
So water would drip down because of that?
Yes.
Ci sono tante storie sul Lucedio.
There are so many stories about Lucedio. Even the church does not want to talk about Lucedio. It's always been used by satanic people.
So what happened here?
This has been for centuries a dormitory. You have to consider that more than 300 monks and other people who were not religious worked here in the farm.
Has there been any paranormal activity in this room?
There is a legend about a young woman. The father would like this woman married an old man, and she was in love with a young man, and so she killed herself.
So where to next?
This is the People's Church, the church that was used for the everyday celebration.
That is beautiful. Don't get no better than that. Yes, that's...
When they've done some working to repair the church 40 years ago, they found the bodies, the bones of these monks, some of them without the head.
So what kind of activity do we have in here?
The area where we are now, they heard some voice and they've seen some shadows.
And are we able to access underneath this level?
On this one, yes, you can have the access.
Well, thank you very much for taking us around.
Thank you. I'm really interested about if there is some paranormal power here, because I think that so many people have lived here that something remain of all these people.
We've been told that supposedly the devil dwells here. Even with all the research that we've done, I don't know what to believe.
I do fear things, but I also know that fear is powerful food for evil entities.
We've come in here to do a job and to look for the supernatural here. Some people have ideas, you know, it's a demon, it's something inhuman. But what we're going to find in here once the lights go out and we go dark, none of us know. For a case like this, we're going to take every tool we have available, tape recorders, cameras, handheld camcorders, everything we can think of, and do our best to find out what's going on here. So we got camera 1, a good image, camera 2, good image.
Wireless audio is recording. We're all set and ready to go.
Yeah, perfect. There we go. We're good.
Good job.
Brian, Donna, and I went into the People's Church, where there's been reports of shadows and voices.
Okay, you got a base reading on it?
Yeah, it's 0.
Okay, here we go. Humidity is rising. 38.7, 38.8. Temperature's dropping and humidity is rising. The 39.3% humidity is rising.
Well, here's the deal. We got a window open over here. You're getting a cross breeze. My camera just went dead. I just charged it.
Battery's dead?
Yeah.
So we have battery drain.
Yeah.
One theory suggests that when spirits attempt to manifest in an area, they look for an energy source from which to draw from. So we look for these kind of fluctuations for the possibility that activity is about to occur.
Is there anybody here with us now?
How many of you are in here?
Were you a monk who used to live here?
Wait a second.
Hold on. Donna, did you just move?
No.
Get up. Show yourself.
Suddenly, Brian saw a shadow moving towards Donna and moving right behind her. All right, Donna?
Yeah.
Still sit there, Donna. I can see you. It's no problem.
You want me to sit back down
I've got you covered. Don't worry about it.
You want us to get out?
All right, Donna, get over here. It's over there. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, I command you to show yourself. You must give me a sign of your presence now. And it's moving over there. It's moving around the perimeter. Give us a sign of your presence. A whisper, a knock, a bang, something.
Where are you? One of you guys just whisper?
I heard it too. Did you hear that?
I just heard the whisper.
I heard go now.
Go now. I heard someone whisper, go now, in a very deep male voice. We asked around. No one had said anything. No one had made any sound.
All right, so far it's targeted Donna. You know you've got it in there, so show yourself.
Oh my God, I felt something touch my shoulder.
All right, so far it's targeted Donna. You know you've got it in there, so show yourself.
Oh my God, I felt something touch my shoulder. Right here.
You sure it's not the breeze?
No, it's not. It wasn't a breeze. It was like this.
Sure.
I was upstairs in the chapel with Rob and Brian, and I felt a hand on my shoulder, like grasp it, like to the bone. And I mean, these guys had already kind of gone in front of me, and I whipped around, and there was nobody there. I feel like I'm being singled out, and I'm freaked out.
The main item that we needed to debunk was the crying pillar. It was the room where the monks did their judging as far as the Inquisition. And of course, the whole story behind the crying pillar was this pillar had seen such horrible atrocities over the years that it actually would cry and create its own tears. I went on the second floor, paced it out so I knew exactly where the pillar was underneath me. And sure enough, when I looked down on the floor, there was a crack in the tile and obvious water damage around the crack. Water's pooling here. It's dripping through. All right, let's see if we can make the pillar cry.
Okay, this is, I guess, where Paulo slept as a kid, and I guess he did some EVP work in here with some tape recorders.
He said that he heard voices in this room.
Okay.
Years ago.
Is there anybody in this place that would like to speak with us tonight? Did you used to talk to Paulo when he was a little kid in here?
Could you make a sound or a movement occur so that we know you're here?
Is there anything that you'd like to say to us right now? If there is a presence in this room, can you make yourself known now?
I'm definitely looking forward to listening to what we have on tape. I can't bet on whether we caught anything or not, but at the same time, we do want to come away with the best evidence we possibly can. You know where we should go? It's the top floor of the church. Huh?
I'm not going back in that church. Look, I just had my life flash in front of my eyes. I didn't want to go back to the church because I felt like I was being targeted in a way. I felt like it was kind of following me around.
If I go up to the church, I'm going to go with Donna and, like, arm to arm. I'm not letting go of her.
We got to go together.
That's the only way you're going to get me.
All right, well, if that's the only way we can get you to go up there, then that's the way we're going to get you. Let's go. They're obviously frightened, but at the same time, that's what this team does. We go out and we look at the things that scare us.
Lights out.
If there's somebody here with us now, could you please give us a sign of your presence?
What was it like here? Was it beautiful?
Ghosts don't only speak in English. The monastery itself is based in northern Italy, but we had also to remember that with it being in the 12th century, Latin was going to be spoken quite heavily there. So to try and reach out to the monks, to the spirits that were based there, I had to try and reach out in some form of a basic Latin.
Be on your guard up here. Something doesn't feel right.
We are Shannon.
Easy, easy. It's getting darker in here.
I don't like this.
There's a shadow, Barry.
I'm shaking. I was by myself in the corner, and I could see darkness closing in on me. I could have sworn it was a mosquito on my right arm, so I kind of swatted it away. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking there's no more bugs out here, it's too cold. So just sheer panic came over me.
At each end of this hall, we have a female. If you understand, touch their arm, or their face, or their hair.
Shannon's absolutely scared. I mean, there's very few people that could, on one of their first few cases, not be scared. The fact that she's still here shows that even if she's scared, she's got that strength.
My whole body feels numb.
They're crowding around.
I can't even feel my lips.
I'm feeling something close. I'm gonna raise my left arm. And if there's somebody here, if you'd like to touch my hand, please feel free to do so. You feel people come around you, but you can't see them. It's so black. It's like your hand up to your face black. It's getting heavier down here.
Donna, there was movement over there to your right.
If there's somebody here to my right-hand side, could you please speak your name?
Donna, this was very heavy over here.
I heard some movement on my right, and Barry said, there's something to your right, and I immediately felt from here to here a touch on my arm. Heart is beating.
You okay?
Yeah.
And I think, you guys showed that you trust your team and that you're willing to do what it takes to find what's going on here. and you guys stepped up and came in here and didn't need to be together and separated and did a bang-up job, so good job.
We're just about to go to the church. That one has the tomb underneath. And I said that that's where the evil was banished to.
Hell! What? What happened?
I don't know what the hell it was. I just seen it move.
Was this one of the tombs? Found these walled off, busted through tombs. We're running 9s in here, man. 10s. 11, 12.
An ion meter is a device that measures both the positive and negative ion counts in the air. Some people believe when paranormal activity manifests, it can raise or lower that count.
Shh. Sounded very like wood in here. Moved.
Wood?
Yeah.
Barry hears a knocking or a rapping on one of the walls of the crypt.
It sounded as if it was being hit with something.
I'll see if we can find a way up and around.
We exited out of the first set of crypts. We entered into the second set.
Okay, let's go this way. Let's just go. Come on, go. Dude, try and flashlight back here, real quick. Something just breathed into my ear.
I'm very, very uncomfortable down here. Not quite right.
Oh, dude, back up. Holy dude. When you moved over there, something came right out. All right, come on, we can do this. Oh, what's that?
When we moved down toward the back, I saw the figure move to the right. I followed the figure, and that's where we found the wood laying beside the wall. It's the far side.
Yeah?
That's the tomb. Something was in here wrapping at the wall.
We only have one way out.
What was that?
We only have one way out.
Brian and I were investigating the crypt when we saw a shadow move. What was that? There.
We gotta go.
Let's keep going.
I'm with you, man. Whatever's in here doesn't like us being in here. I gotta say that dealing with whatever was down there is probably one of the most intense and dangerous investigations I've ever been in.
You all right? Yep. So, unfit.
It's crazy. There's something very evil down there that didn't want us there.
Okay, guys, let's call it a night.
Yeah, definitely, man. Let's just pack up the equipment and go home.
Tonight's case was one of those cases that gets you involved in the paranormal field. Like, this had everything you could ask for. We had voices, we had people being touched, but I need to go back and review the evidence to back that up.
This particular case, we collected many hours of audio and video. So Andy and I are going to pitch in and help the team review the evidence.
Hey. What do you think of that right there?
That could be fleck of dust. Floating right there. I mean,
all it is.
Yep.
Just
Cool. Thank you.
Hey, Shannon. Have you been paying close attention to the pillar?
There's nothing out of the ordinary with the pillar. I'm looking for mists, lights, orbs.
Any bits of moisture on it?
It's been uneventful.
Okay.
We got it.
You got what?
You remember when we were upstairs at the church? We thought we heard the whisper.
Yeah.
We got it.
You got the whisper?
Yep.
I'll loop this bad boy.
That was not us. What we heard was go now.
Yeah.
But right after you hear that go, somebody breathes deep into the microphone of the recorder, so we didn't get the now. We got the go.
We got the go, so that's fine.
And we all heard it, too.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay, all right.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was an easy one to find.
Oh, I got something, guys. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
What do you got?
I got the topper of the night tonight.
What is it, EVP?
Check this out.
The topper.
Oh, yes.
We have have some evidence to show you from our investigation.
Good.
And with that being said, what we have to do with every investigation, we come in as skeptics. We have to come in with the idea that we're going to prove that none of that happened.
Let's start off with the crying pillar. I did notice in the tile floor some water stains and some cracks and some erosion around it. I was able to find a large bucket. I made a hole in the bucket and set it over this crack, hoping that the water would leak out and start to make the pillar cry. But unfortunately, in this case, there was no water. We were not able to debunk it, and we'll just have to leave the story the way it is, and that it's the crying pillar, okay?
Barry was with myself, Donna, and Shannon up in the People's Church on the second floor. And Donna felt a hand on her shoulder. She looks around, there's no one there. Barry says to her, when you were standing there, there was a large shadow that was coming to your location where you were standing.
And to him, it looked like the outline of a man.
A large
man walking towards her.
It's again incredible.
Exactly. And we do the same thing. And like I said, that's why we try as much as we can to say, okay, could it have been someone walking? What if there was light coming this way? But when something happens and there's no other way to explain it, that's what we're left with.
It's some of the people who have been here for centuries. Something still remains of these people. This is probably the area where they are more quiet because nobody goes in the night.
Unfortunately, we didn't get any video evidence with our cameras, and we didn't get any photos of anything. But we did get some very interesting EVPs.
And sometimes voices that belong to none of us appear on the tape, sometimes even answering the questions we asked. Myself, Donna, and Brian were up in the People's Church. We kind of looked at each other and said, "Did you just whisper?" Everyone said, "No, I didn't whisper." And we distinctly heard something. Now, what we'd like to do is play the tape for you and see if you hear what we heard up there.
Yes, we can hear go.
Sounds like go to me.
Probably go is, in this moment, is the best thing that I can think.
When we were upstairs in the church, what we exactly heard was, "Go now."
The last EVP we want you to listen to is something that you touched on earlier. You had a bedroom, and that when you were younger, you actually recorded some sounds.
Yes.
You inspired us, so we actually put a microphone in your old bedroom and for the night recorded what types of sounds were in there.
Did you hear that?
What does that sound like to you?
More, it seems Italian, this one. Could be in Italian, basta, that means stop.
And what would the word be?
Basta.
Basta.
Means, stop. Like an expression that is e basta, and so now stop. Stop, finish this because I'm angry, I'm bored, or I'm something like this. So many people investigating in all these buildings.
That seemed to be the theme of the evening. A lot of go nows, and now to hear from you, that's fascinating. Someone saying, "Stop, I've had enough." And to get that in the bedroom where we know that you had gotten recordings previously was just fascinating to us.
Yes.
So, Paulo, after a thorough review of the evidence and the stories that we collected in our night here, we've concluded that this is a haunted location.
This has been a spiritual center for centuries. It is quite normal that the presence still remain here.
This is honestly the most beautiful location I've ever investigated. This is incredible. And we really want to say thank you again.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and it was a pleasure to know you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I was not surprised to hear that they have seen some shadows, or they heard some voices, because this is such an old place with a long story, with so many people living here. Quite normal that something like this can happen here.
This was a great case.
Donna and Shannon faced a lot of challenges on this investigation. Let's go. And it was great to see that they stepped up and overcame these obstacles. I think this is the kind of thing that's going to move us forward in the future.
right, so we're going to Nantios Mansion in Wales.
All right, everybody, we've got a variety of activity here. We have the sounds of a harp playing in and around the house and the area in the woods. Another story is of Elizabeth Powell, who used to hide her jewels, and supposedly she still roams the halls looking for her jewels.
But we have to go in with the attitude that we're going to make sure that we debunk anything and everything we possibly can here.
Way.
Oh my God.
Wow. Seems pretty cool.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Brian, Andy, and I are going to go do the tour. If you guys can get the equipment inside.
Paul?
Hello.
Rob.
Good to meet you, Rob.
Good to meet you.
I'm Andy.
Hello, Andy.
How you doing? Brian, pleasure to meet you.
Well, welcome to Nantios Mansion.
It's a beautiful location.
It is a very beautiful spot.
So what can you tell us about the place?
Well, it was built in 1738 for the Powell family. At one time, it was the 30,000-acre estate. It was one of the biggest in Wales.
It's huge.
This house was actually built on top of the original house and right down in the cellar. There have been all kinds of reported sightings, noises, movement. The big story is that the Holy Grail was brought up here for safekeeping by 7 monks who were the guardians of the Grail. And one by one, those monks had died and they were buried in the basement.
Yeah, that's certainly something we're going to want to check out.
All right, so how about a tour?
Let's start with the bar.
So what kind of activity do we have in here?
I was serving dinner to a couple of guests who were sitting at that table right there. I was talking to them when I heard footsteps very distinctly, and the steps went behind the bar. Now, at that time, I had an assistant called Matthews. I turned around and said, "Hi, Matt," and there was nobody there.
So what do you make of that?
I have no idea.
Okay, so where to next?
Here we are in the rear hall.
I saw this black shadow just go round the top of the stairs. At first, I thought it was a human being because it was the silhouette of a person. Afterwards, I was pretty convinced that it was spirits and ghosts. I was freaked out.
Where to next?
Let's go on up the stairs.
So what kind of activity do we have up here?
Various people have reported shadowy figures, phantom sounds coming out through the walls. And then, of course, there's the famous story of Elizabeth Powell looking for her jewelry. And right now we're going to go into her bedroom, the pink bedroom.
Okay.
This is where she died.
So what kind of activity do we have in here?
She had lost her jewelry and was unable to get out of bed because she was so sick to find it. And she'd hidden it to keep it away from her husband. And a spirit is said to stalk the corridors looking for just that.
She was a very tormented lady, and there's been so many people who have heard noises and seen things they thought double taking.
Here we are in the kitchen. This is where there have been some slightly odd stories that I'd like to check out.
What kind of activity are they reporting?
There's a chef, and he was working at a wedding.
About 1 in the morning, and I'm in the kitchen. You can hear people shuffling around, you can hear clinks of glasses, that kind of thing. So I thought, oh, I'm stuck in the kitchen here on my own. Go outside, I walk around through the corridors, through into the main area of the house, and there's not a single soul.
So what do you think, Brian? Allow audio in here?
I'll put wireless audio in here. This is like the biggest audio area.
At this point, we're going to set up cameras, get audio running. We're going to do the best that we possibly can to get you some answers about these stories.
Well, that's great.
The location here is beautiful. There's a good opportunity to do some debunking here and look for possible explanations other than just saying everything's paranormal.
Paul wants us to come in, do our thing, and try to find some answers and separate the truth from fiction.
Well, we got the camera set up. This is the bar, right, where the guy said he was sitting here and he saw the thing go behind him.
Okay.
So then I got...
That's really good.
This is the hallway upstairs where they see the apparition.
Mm-hmm.
This is the stairwell where they saw the apparition come down. And that's the kitchen where they can hear pots and pans going and everything.
Perfect.
Right.
No, it looks really good. You guys did a bang-up job. Let's get the lights out and start investigating.
Yep.
Let's start at the bar.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Check that out. What's that, the radiator?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. There's the IR.
Correct.
It looks like we got some kind of hot pipe running under the floor right there.
Mm-hmm. There's your explanation for the big walk around the bar the client heard.
Absolutely. There's a whole bunch of loose floorboards here.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that heat hits those floorboards, starts causing some expanding and contraction, it's going to make the sound of the footsteps.
Right. Why don't we move on to the next room?
Yeah.
The kitchen. It's pretty obvious the kind of things we're going to get heat off of in here. The appliances, pipes,
We got stainless here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to reflect.
We're reflecting off everything.
Yeah, yeah.
What I want to do is put this down for a second, because this is where we've got the pots moving, all the noise. So let's take a look around in here.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, I figured you're going to grab this, you're going to shake it, it's going to make a ton of noise. It doesn't. I mean, this is fairly solid.
Check this one out, pal.
This one, on the other hand, you barely touch this thing, and it sounds like there's an earthquake going through here. You start hearing that at 1 in the morning, already thinking the place is haunted. You're going to start buying into that there's something really spooky going on, and a ghost made a cup move.
We got a trap door here.
Well, you want to hop up there and give it
You want to take, yeah.
Then Andy out of nowhere turns into a monkey, goes jumping into the ceiling, and discovers...
I got animal droppings up here.
Oh, bingo.
Bat, definitely rat.
Right, so add that in there. You start having things scurrying and running around up here. You're gonna swear up and down you got a haunted kitchen. Let's keep moving.
Brian and I went down to the basement in Montios to investigate the area where the 7 monks were said to be buried.
Get anything, Barry?
Nothing yet.
Okay. Barry.
Yep.
Come here.
Hold on.
Look, Barry. Tunnel.
Oh, I like those.
This thing goes back a long way, Barry. Huh. Oh, yeah, dude. This thing goes into like another room. Think we can get in there?
Let's see. What I do see lying down there is bones.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm going in. I found our bones. I'm in. All right, I'm going down. Wish me luck. Dude, this goes on for a long way. Okay. Dude, there's tons of bones down here. Barry? Yeah? Barry, there's something down here with me. I'm coming back. Right? There's something moving. It's coming toward me. I don't know what it is. Barry, there's something down here with me.
Brian and I were investigating the basement when we found a crawlway under the house, which Brian decided to enter.
I'm coming back.
Right?
There's something moving. All I saw was a shadow. All of a sudden, it started moving toward me. Oh, my God. Because I was panicking. Because I've never been that close to something in such a tight spot.
What did you see?
A shadow formed down there, moving toward me.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it was.
Did you hear anything?
No. What was that down there?
Whatever it is.
It's not happy.
No.
All right, Andy, let's get the staircase done.
Ah, yes, the grand staircase.
A lot of people have reported stories of this woman in the white gown coming up and down the stairs with a candlestick.
Donna and I were on the grand stairwell. We were doing some EVP work while I was going up and down with an EMF detector.
EMF stands for electromagnetic field, and what we use are devices that measure that field. If we get a high EMF reading and we can't find any normal explanations for it, at that point some people believe that you're measuring spirit activity.
Are you the lady who appears to some people walking down the staircase with a candle? If there is somebody here with us now, could you please make a sign of your presence?
And all of a sudden I had a spike in the meter. I wanted to grab the digital camera, ran back up, and immediately started to snap photos.
Are you here with us? If you're here, please don't run away. Please stay here with us.
I proceeded to walk down the hallway towards the pink room. I hear what sounds like a sigh or a sob. Donna, come here.
What's up?
Do your EVP by the door of the pink room.
If there's somebody here, could you please state your name? We know this is your room. This is where you used to sleep.
It was like a weeping, like a crying.
Yeah.
What is what I heard, and that's why I asked you to come up here. And now I can say I had a personal experience that kind of made me feel a little weird.
Are you upset? If you're here, I hope when I play back this tape, I can hear your voice. If that was you weeping, I'm sorry that something upset you, and I'll leave you at peace.
I
think this is a good space here, Shannon.
Barry and I came upstairs into the attic tonight doing an experiment.
I want to record directly onto the laptop software. The reason why I brought Shannon along is because most of the staff who would have been up here would have been female, and we may get a better response with a female, obviously, here on the scene. I'm expecting to get an audio response. Something moved over there.
A lot of holes in the floors, holes in the ceilings, holes in the walls.
What the hell's that? It's down towards that corridor. Keep with it. Listen very carefully.
It's room after room after room, just navigating rooms.
Shh. You know, the hair now is starting to get up in the back of her neck. I don't know which way to go now. Take your shots. Take your shots. Good.
And we're going to have to review the evidence to see if anything comes up.
We might have something.
Now, would you call that a mission a success?
It seems that whenever we are not here, that there was something moving.
Hey, guys. We're going to wrap it up, so if you guys want to head down, we can start packing up. Yeah, I think tonight's investigation went really well. Good debunking, good teamwork, great personal experiences. So at this point, we're hoping that we can go and find something that validates their experiences in the exact same location.
Right.
Well, thank you for having us out here. It's a beautiful location. We really appreciate it.
That's been a pleasure.
We got a lot of evidence to review, and we want to show you what we found in a couple days.
That's great. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Get some rest, and we'll see you soon.
I could certainly do with some sleep. Thank you. Good night. I think the answer to the big question is how many of these phenomena are there? And these stories have been around for a long time, and I think we need to get to the bottom of it.
Good job, guys. We got to get back to the hotel, get some rest, so that we can get right back to the evidence, see how good this investigation really went.
Another night investigating, another night done. We had a lot of different experiences all over the house. So hopefully we actually caught some of these experiences, and we can actually review them and prove that there's paranormal activity out there.
Brian, I want you to have a listen to this. This is Donna and Andy as they're climbing the main stairwell up onto the second floor.
All right. Go ahead, hit me.
There's a distinct...
Oh, yes, that's very
There
nice.
is a very distinct...
Play that again. Let me make sure I know what it is. Oh, yeah. That's definitely helped me. That's pretty nice, too. Good find.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. All right. That's one.
I got a spooky one.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up?
How goes it?
What's up? So, what'd you think? The mansion?
It's great.
Sweet.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Happy with the results.
Yes. We have EVPs to show you. Here, here's the first one. Let me know what you think.
That one's good.
All right.
See what you think. That one's pretty obvious.
Help me.
Right.
Yeah? All right.
That's what you guys thought as well?
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, none of us would have said help me while investigating. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
Okay.
That's a good one. Good catch.
This was at the end of the night, and I was like, well, why don't we take the masculinity out of this and have Shannon and Donna go up there to talk to Elizabeth.
Are you upset because you can't find all the jewelry that you hid?
That's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome. It's a question being asked having to do with the missing jewels and everything, and you get a clear answer to that question.
Are you upset because you can't find all the jewelry that you hid?
Wow. Wow.
That's definitely consciousness right there. That's like Barry said, that's definitely a consciousness.
These are all good enough to to bring to Paul and see what he thinks about them. Like, you guys did a bang-up job finding those. I know it's not always easy finding good EVPs. So, Donna, how do we do with research?
Did really good. Actually, a lot of the stories that were floating around were actually pretty much fables. They were fictitious.
What? The Holy Grail?
The Holy Grail was pretty much a manufactured 19th century story. No monks lived there.
All right, well, great job, everybody.
We'll go see Paul?
Let's do it.
All right. See you guys later.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome job.
Good job. Good job.
Okay. Paul, good to see you again.
Hi, good to see you too.
How you doing, Paul?
Okay, thank you.
So we came in, we listened to your stories of what the activity is, and we brought in a lot of equipment to try and get some answers for you. So we have to come in as skeptics first. We come in and try and disprove all the stories of activity that have happened here to try and prove that it's not paranormal.
And then we look for that logical answer.
Some of the investigators started having their own personal experiences within the home. One of our investigators, Brian, was in the basement and saw a full shadow move across in front of him when there was no light behind it. They should have created this shadow.
There are no outside light sources there.
Exactly.
Exactly. Donna and I were investigating the possible case of someone walking down the stairwell. I was actually climbing up and down the stairs, and I was up at the top of the stairs, and I got a very cold feeling.
So at this point, we'd like you to take a listen to a couple things that we were able to pick up so that we can get your take on it.
I'd be interested to see it.
Did you recognize?
I did.
What did you recognize?
I heard it say, "Help me."
Right, and that's what we thought it said as well.
And is there anything visible at this point?
No, there's nothing visible, which is actually, in a way, good, because we know that there's nothing around there. We know that no one is there that could possibly be contaminating this.
When we do these EVP sessions, when we do the recordings, we want a back and forth. We ask several questions, and what we need or what we look for is a response to the questions. Because to us, that would say, okay, it's not some stray signal or something if it specifically answers in a timely manner the question that was posed. And we actually had that happen in this case.
Are you upset because you can't find all the jewelry that you hid?
Did you hear anything?
Well, if I wasn't senile, I would believe that I heard the word yes.
Correct.
Exactly.
And that's what we heard as well. At this point, we're looking for a couple things to come together. We don't want one piece of evidence without it being backed up by several others. And we have some, what we consider some good EVP evidence that we cannot explain. We do not know where those voices came from. Some people that were investigating saw some things that they were unable to explain. So, you know, taking all of that together, we feel very comfortable saying that there is paranormal activity taking place in this mansion. But at the same time, nothing that we found, nothing we experienced would say that there's any danger or any negative presence associated with this property. So if I were the owner of this home, I wouldn't do anything. I'd understand that there is some sort of paranormal activity here and try and coexist with it.
Good. So, well, it's official, and it's been great having you.
Oh, thank you, Paul. We had an excellent time here.
Good.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. It was great.
That's a pleasure. Thank you. So my first reaction to those noises was that they were voices and people were speaking to me from the past. This has never actually happened to me before, so I'm now in a state of silent and wild shock, to say the least.
You know, this is, to me, the kind of thing we want an investigation to be. We had good personal experiences. We got some good evidence.
Great location. Manteos Mansion in Wales. It couldn't have been better.
Yeah, on to the next one.